What's up, guys? It's gonna be another episode of Just Think Stupid. He's being stupid.
Yo.
I'm just thinking.
What? I'm the stupid one?
Yep, you're the one that...
I was doing this. Just look at my neck on the screen. No, that was one.
There you
that
go.
camera.
There you
I'm not making myself sound smart.
Alright, think.
What do you want me to think about?
You said you're the smart one.
Okay, do you know that there's new AI technology that's getting integrated with certain editing softwares? Well, not editing softwares, recording softwares more so, that will make it look like your eyes are on the camera at all times, even if you look away.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, right? That's useful. It's really weird. Like, it scans your eyes, and it makes the perfect replica of your eyes just staring right at the camera.
No, that's nice.
Yeah, so you could just be like looking at your phone, and it looks like you're still staring at the camera.
I don't like that, man. What?
It's creepy.
Why the fuck? Why is this what we're making? Like, shit like that? That's just creepy, man. That's like some horror movie shit.
I mean, hey, it would be useful as fuck. Like, if I ever become a big streamer, fuck, like I could be reading something off my phone. That's the thing. That's where it's gonna lead to. People are gonna be reading shit off their phone or like to the side, and it'll look like they're looking at the camera, and then that they're fucking fantastic speakers.
So it speaks for them too.
Well, it doesn't speak for them, but say if you had like maybe a kind of teleprompter set up over here, you can't see in the frame, and if you're like looking at it in a way that it looks like you are still looking directly at the camera, and you're just reading off there, and the eyes are looking at the camera because of the AI.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah,
you can seem really smart as long as you're good at reading, you know.
As long as you can read.
Yeah, as long as you're not illiterate.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's really weird.
You know the crazy thing though about like how like so many people are fucking illiterate. I looked this up again today. It's 21% of the U.S. population is illiterate, and there's like 50% are reading below a 6th grade reading level, which I'm not sure what that means exactly, but you know that sounds bad.
That sounds really
What's
bad.
a 6th
I mean,
grade reading level? I'm not sure.
Basic sentences, like very basic sentences still, maybe like, okay, here, you know Hank the Cowdog books, or like Magic Treehouse, maybe that kind of level?
Really?
Maybe that's 7th or 8th.
I feel like that's like 1st or 2nd grade.
Then what's 6th grade?
I don't know, man.
I feel like that's like 5th, 6th grade. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know, man.
I barely remember 6th grade,
I
so.
don't remember at all what we did. That was way too long ago, man.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy though. 21% of the American population?
Yeah, in the United States.
So that's 1/5 of people. That's 1/5 of the whole population. That's concerning.
And I'm not sure. And the thing is, I'm not sure about this. Is this just people that? Does that account for the people that only speak Spanish and don't speak English in the United States? Does that account for people that speak foreign languages and don't speak English? I don't know.
Or if it's just registered Americans, like if they have a citizenship and all that. Because you think if you got a citizenship as a foreigner, you would know how to speak English.
Yeah, probably. At least decent.
Yeah, like at least where you could read and talk in enough sense.
At least where you can talk.
Yeah.
For sure.
So illegal immigrants is, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
I was watching a Joe Rogan with Dr. Phil, and he was talking about it.
When was this?
Oh, that was a while ago. I don't know.
I need to watch it.
A couple months ago. I think we watched part of it. Like, a while back. It was a couple months ago, probably.
I need to watch it.
You should.
That sounds awesome. A fucking podcast I need to rewatch is the Eric Weinstein one with Joe Rogan.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one, and like he talked about a lot of things that are fascinating. I just would like to rewatch it so my monkey brain can have another chance to absorb all the information. Because I absorbed a good amount of it. It's just, man, it's like way above my head.
Oh, for sure.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Because
concepts you talk about.
I don't even know what the hell a lot of the things he was saying means.
Well, yeah, the mathematical terms. Fuck no.
I don't know.
Fuck no.
I don't have no clue what he's saying.
I don't know what the fuck a spinner is.
I don't know
what does that do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's where it was like, I knew it was a good podcast. I was like, oh yeah, I feel smart listening to this. But then I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
In reality, I feel fucking stupid watching it. I mean, it's fascinating to think about it, but it's just,
Yeah, just so many people that are way smarter than me.
Drink a Monster right before boxing.
That's good. Yeah, no, don't do that, man. That'd be horrible. You might throw up, honestly.
Oh, no, I'll be fine.
That shit.
I fucking hate Monsters,
bro.
I felt really weird yesterday. It does look weird.
A little bit.
Anyway. Yeah, I felt really weird after drinking that Monster. I drank it up until like 5:30 to 6 p.m. when I finished it. After I finished it, so I was up until like 11 or midnight ish. Yeah, I went to bed at midnight.
Yeah.
So probably fell asleep around 12:30 to 1 a.m. Which is why I'm so fucking tired. I slept in a little because there's a late start today, but man, it makes you feel weird. Like it makes me feel almost lightheaded all the time. Like I have either low blood pressure or high blood pressure, and I cannot tell which. I just cannot.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel right.
Yeah.
My brain isn't working properly.
No, I can't even think well off of it. Like it fucks up my thoughts.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Because I always thought it should help me speak better and be more articulate. It really doesn't.
Yeah,
it
no.
gives me a weird amount of energy to where, and it's the kind of energy where I don't really want to do anything.
Exactly. That was my issue yesterday. I barely got any. I mean, I got some work done, of course, yesterday, but after drinking that, I just did not do much at all.
Yeah.
Just looked at my fucking phone.
Yeah, I think it's the sugar, man. I think the sugar really fucks
Oh, it is. 100% is the sugar. I mean, isn't it a thing where like caffeine and sugar goes together? It kind of makes like almost a sleepy, energetic feeling.
Yeah, probably.
I've kind of had that with frappuccinos from Starbucks.
Yeah, I don't like Starbucks. I like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
it's a nice treat for me to get a large or a venti, I guess, caramel frappuccino ribbon crunch with 5 extra shots of espresso. Yeah, it's not an often thing, not at all.
It is a tired, sleepy feeling because I always get that like when I'm like on the road or something. I always fucking get a Starbucks, and then I'm driving and then I'm tired. I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive anymore.
Yeah, no, actually,
it's dumb.
I kind of think that it definitely is like that. It's almost they kind of cancel out each other.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't make each other as strong.
But anyway, like something I've been thinking about lately is just like the direction I want to take my channel because I've realized that, which is obvious, but I am just doing what everybody else is doing in the sense that I'm picking a side and I'm doubling down and then only attacking one side.
It's true. Attack both.
And yeah, it's like
attack both sides.
Between doing that or trying to lead with more empathy, because I don't know if like being a dickhead really helps anything ever.
No.
Because there's really not very many people that are balanced other than like Joe Rogan.
Oh, of course.
Friedman. There's not many people though that are big.
Yeah.
That show the full scope of everything.
Which is what I'm trying to do, actually. That is exactly what I'm trying to do. And I've been thinking about. I've noticed that like with certain titles, and you and I noticed this too with one of your videos. Well, with 3 specific videos, 2 of them had this specific factor in the titles that did better than the one, which were around the same thing, but just on different topics. But is that like it's not that YouTube's algorithm, and Dad was explaining this to me, but from that book that the author is not so great from.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
I fucking forget. But that algorithms in general, but particularly YouTube algorithm, will push out whatever general people on the app like. But the thing is, there's a weird phenomenon with humans that we just love hate watching. We love negative things, and we will be more likely to watch a negative thing over a positive thing.
100%.
So, what I'm going to try to incorporate in my videos is that I'm going to be empathetic and just in like overall and in general and try to build people up and all that. But I'm going to try to build it around a topic that's negative, so I have a chance to be able to put in the title something that sounds negative. And then I'll hit people in the fucking face with my figurative fist by, not being all that negative. Just trying to think about what both sides are going through and, trying to say my view on it.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm not sure too is if people will watch that. But yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
People have always been drawn to the negative. People othering another group of people because it gives their life meaning.
Oh, fuck.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
People want a fight, and most people don't. And people have to fight other people on Twitter now. But everybody's the same in the sense that, well, they hate themselves, so they go against the opposite side, which is basically them.
Definitely
the opposite view.
Yeah, it's definitely a first world thing. It's most definitely a first world thing, or at least a thing where you're comfortable enough in life to think about anything other than living or working the next day.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd say that because people used to just walk in random directions and find people to slaughter. Like people have always done that. They want to go against somebody else. They want to fight.
It's kind of the psychopaths, though, huh? I don't know. I mean,
like they always did that.
I think everyone has a little bit of psychopath in them.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I think it's a thing that can be.
Yeah,
I think everyone has that. Like, can be awakened like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Yeah, we've. Yeah, I mean.
Something to do.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense. We're aggressive creatures, and I mean, why wouldn't we want to? We're primates. Primates literally dominate over each other all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like if they don't like a chimpanzee, if they don't like a fucking chimp in their group or see that it's weaker,
yeah.
Then okay, take for example, there's a chimp that's like picking on all the little smaller chimps, pretty much being an asshole.
Yeah.
And if the other smaller, like say 3 or 4 smaller chimps that are way weaker than this one chimp, sees that one chimp is fucking just tired and sick, just weak, all of them will just gang up on him.
Oh yeah.
It's dominance. You want to be dominant, and we're fucking primates and predators. Because, you know, our eyes, but the proof being our eyes are straightforward and versus a bird's eyes are on the side of its head. Yeah, we have that capacity and we have that nature built in with inside of us. We needed to be that way because otherwise us frail, squishy little beings filled with tubes and shit would just be dead. We'd just die.
100%. Yeah, we die so easily.
Like we died. We're so fucking weak compared to everything else in nature.
Yeah, it's crazy we survived, man.
I don't know how. I genuinely don't.
Sometimes I wonder. It's also funny because this is where I don't understand why the religious people think that we're not evolved from monkeys. Because if you look at a monkey, like even their facial expressions are very similar to us.
Yeah.
I look at a monkey and I'd be like, I'm not that much different from you.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think that they are probably our very distant ancestors.
Yeah.
We split in the evolutionary tree. And I'm not saying necessarily evolution is completely right, but I think it's partially right.
Yeah.
I think it's just much, much more complex than what we're giving it, just because of how long it takes over the years.
Yeah.
We just have so much more to learn.
Oh, you just think, meaning that you think there's just a lot of different links in between, a lot of different creatures that were in between monkeys and us.
Well, that.
Or what do you mean?
And as well as like just that whole vein of knowledge in general, we're just scratching the surface, and some of the things that we claim in that kind of scientific idea or theory, like evolution and some other theories that relate to evolution. I mean, it's just we're scratching the surface at some parts, but I feel like we're also missing a part too.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Just in general, it's such a complex thing that takes a fucking gigantic amount of time.
Yeah.
And I don't think we realize that it can also happen in a shorter period of time, too.
Like evolution?
Yeah, like, have you ever heard of the terms epigenetics?
Is that like the genes that can be activated?
So, no.
Oh.
Epigenetics is the genes that can be, but isn't necessarily genetically encoded into the parent, but can be transferred to the offspring of this creature through the life experiences it holds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I just didn't explain it all.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a study, but in Africa, in an area I forget where exactly, there's been a civil war going on for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Before that 20 years, male elephants were being born, of course, frequently. I think around 80% of all males that were born had tusks.
Yeah.
And since the Civil War started going on, they've been poaching a lot more elephants for their tusks, so they can sell shit and like buy equipment and whatnot, or whatever they're trying to do with it. So the rate of poaching really increased. And the fascinating thing is it's either 30 to 50% of males were being born with tusks.
Yeah.
In a 20-year period.
Yeah, it's fast. Yeah.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Where they just stopped being born with the tusks all that much.
That's weird.
And tusks is an important thing in their evolution because that's how males prove their dominance over other males, is by fighting each other with their tusks for a female.
Yeah.
It's literally what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And they also, I think they also dig for water sometimes with their tusks.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so.
Know that. That's cool.
I think so.
Oh, that's weird how... Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense that things could happen faster. Who the fuck knows how all this works? I mean, really, my theory about it now, which this is, like, not scientific at all, but it's just the way I think of God. And I think you can see God to a certain extent. So the way I look at, like, what God is, I don't look at it as a being, I look at it more as a force. And it's a force that acts on everything all at once to make sure everything's balanced and even.
I mean,
essentially.
That is kind of scientific.
Is it? Oh, well, I didn't mean for it to be, but yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of scientific. You take forces that we try to manipulate all the time, gravity, electromagnetism, and, other shit. So we try to manipulate forces all the time. So yeah, I think that's pretty scientific.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it's like philosophical.
It is philosophical more than anything, the way I mean it. But
yeah.
I mean, I think there's I think it's Newton's third law kind of basically says what I'm saying. I think it's the third law. It's one of his laws anyway, where every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Oh.
To me, that kind of just shows what the universe, how it works in some sort of way. Everything's equal.
Yeah, no,
everything's balanced. That's why there's so many extremes, but everything's balanced out at the end.
Yeah, like Eric Weinstein was saying, he thinks that there are two extra forces that are undiscovered because of just our lack of knowledge so far and our lack of processing power, essentially. And we don't know how to get into other dimensions necessarily, unless our government is hiding something from us. But he also thinks that there is opposite forces to everything. So every force. So like anti-gravity, anti-electromagnetism, shit like that. And he thinks that just because of neutrinos, and then there's also another one that's pretty much the opposite of it's a positron. But a neutrino is essentially the opposite, as close as you can become to the opposite of an electron. And yeah, they're weird. They go through our Earth. They go through any ordinary matter.
Yeah,
like every second of your living life, you're getting bombarded with millions of fucking neutrinos that are just getting sent, flying from the sun directly at the Earth. It just goes.
What do they do again?
We don't necessarily know.
Oh, okay.
They're just produced we know that they are maybe produced at the core of the sun, in the nuclear fusion reactions.
Weird,
so okay, take for example a normal particle. It takes hundreds of years from a normal particle to get through the sun to the outside of the sun.
Yeah.
For a neutrino, it takes about 8 seconds because it just goes straight through the sun. So it acts like it's not there.
Yeah.
And then it goes straight through our Earth.
That's so weird.
And the way that we know they exist is by this fucking gigantic detector full of water. And sometimes neutrinos will interact with water molecules. But it has to hit it directly.
Yeah, gotcha.
It has to hit the water molecule directly for us to know.
Oh.
So, yeah. And we think they may have a slight mass, but we don't know. They go really fucking fast, too. It's really weird.
I want to know what the hell they do. I want to know what effect that has.
Right.
It has to do something. There has to be some kind of purpose, anyway.
Well, I think there's a purpose. I just don't think maybe there's an applicable purpose. Oh, yeah. The fucking camera. No, it's okay. I think there's an applicable purpose maybe to our physical material. Well, not material, but normal matter world. I think there might be an applicable reason. We just don't know it yet because we don't know what matter it really belongs to. Because normal particles get sent flying through a big asteroid. They hit the asteroid.
Yeah.
They actually interact with that matter. So that means to me that neutrinos aren't necessarily a part of this ordinary matter we know today.
Okay.
Isn't necessarily a part of that tree, family tree almost.
Gotcha.
I think it could be antimatter that interacts with only very few.
Wait, so antimatter is just the opposite of matter, basically, or?
Well, we don't know. I think we don't know. It's the same thing with dark matter. Same thing. That's how.
We don't really know.
We don't know, and
it's always a good thing because we can measure it, but that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, literally. And with the galaxies, we've measured the inertia of the. You know what inertia is, right?
I forget.
So when something, an object is spinning at a fast rate, and it's a circular object usually, or at least a circular force, and there's something on the outside of that object, and if the thing that's spinning goes too fast, the object on the outside will just be flung.
Okay.
And it's a very basic principle in physics. But the inertia of certain galaxies, of course we don't know ours, but the certain inertia of galaxies are way, way too quick for the solar systems on the outer side, or the outer ring of the galaxy itself to be there.
Oh, okay.
Ordinarily, if there was no force holding it there, they'd just be flung. They'd just be flung out into deep space. So we dub that dark matter. It's kind of like a glue that holds things in place. That as far as we fucking know right now. Yeah. So it keeps suns. Yeah, it keeps solar systems in a galaxy.
I mean, all this is on purpose for sure. Like, I don't believe in any coincidences really.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything has a purpose, even if we don't know it yet.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, if you are, I mean, if you're human like us.
Like us. Trust me, guys. Trust me, we're human.
Yes. Anyway, as I was saying, you're just an ordinary person that maybe smokes weed or just thinks that that has a nihilistic view on the world. You think that everything just happens to be here, and just we're in this meaningless existence for no real reason. I mean, you can think that from a perspective like us, because we don't know shit. We don't know the full scope of the universe and its inner workings and how it works at all, really. So, say if you take someone like that, they don't have any understanding of that, like we don't, and they think about reality and like the events that happen in their lives and them being born and all of this being unrelated because they don't know the inner workings of it in the first place, because it's such a complex and advanced system that we cannot even process it. We cannot even detect it.
Yeah.
Then obviously you're going to think that.
Yeah, well, we can't even imagine our town. Like, if you live in a bigger place, you can't even imagine your town at scale, really.
Yeah, no, not really.
You can't imagine Denver.
I mean,
all
like,
the people in it at scale.
Yeah.
You can't imagine 1 million people. So.
I mean, like, if you're a pilot, you might have a better idea of imagining big open spaces, but you can't imagine 1 million individual people.
Yeah, like, all interacting. And
like,
having different relationships with each other and, like different people bumping into each other. You know,
yeah.
And all the complexities even with that.
Yeah, exactly. So how the fuck are you expected to know all the complexities to our reality?
Yeah.
And who's to say this reality is the only reality to this universe? Like, there could be different realities. Parallel, kind of like the multiverse, but not like the multiverse in the sense that they're split different universes. But what if it's all the fucking same universe?
Yeah.
And they're just happening in different gradients of the same universe.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows, man. But what I'd say to, like, nihilistic people is you need some sort of faith in anything. And so I think it's more worthwhile to believe that everybody and everything has a purpose. Like, you're here for a reason, and, like, who knows what the fucking reason is. And I'm here for a reason, and so is everybody that's here. Because we all balance each other out in some way.
Yeah.
And so just figure out what, at your core, you want to do, and do that.
That's why we need extremes. We need extreme people with extreme ideas to be able to balance out the people who are trying to be balanced and trying to have an understanding in a generalistic term instead of a very specific terms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like we have an obligation as human beings. Like, okay, first off, I want to say that for people who are nihilistic and doing nothing with their life because they know even if they try and do something, it's not going to mean anything, that's just an excuse for you to be sitting on your ass, smoking weed all day, eating a bunch of shit until you get fat and eventually get cancer or diabetes and just die of it. And you'll be glued to your chair maybe someday or stuck to your toilet. Who the hell knows? I want to say to you that you haven't even, like, most people like that are in our generation. And I'm sure there's, like, some other generation. They're scattered, but mainly our generation is a godless generation because we don't believe in God, really. I don't meet many people our age that believe in God. There are a few, of course, just because it's passed down from their parents. But they just don't. So they don't have any faith in anything, so they don't even think about their future. And you have been here, 15, 20, maybe even 30 years?
Yeah.
You don't know shit. You don't have enough experiences to make a judgment. I mean, you got to get out there and do something so you can actually compile a bunch of experiences together and see what the commonality is.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, you have an obligation as a human to at least try.
Oh, yeah.
At least try to become the best version of yourself. And at least push yourself to the extremes. You can actually find out who you are and maybe some enlightenment. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, but it's easier to seek instant gratification all the time. Fuck bitches, just as many as you can. The more, the better.
Yeah.
And for girls, the more dick you take, the better. The more alcohol you can drink, the better. The more you can get paid for, being pretty, the better.
Oh, definitely.
It's just easier to do that than it is to actually do anything and try to become competent, try to become good at something, figure out what you're good at.
Yeah.
Travel the world, like do something to make it all worth meaningful in some way instead of just seeking constant happiness.
Yeah. It's a thing that has been happening as old as humans have discovered that there were certain substances to eat that would make them feel good. But especially with this generation, I fucking worry. This is why I want to get out of America as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Because I don't think America is going to last. Just because of our generation, the next generation, and the next generation after that. Man, we are godless. Like most of us probably are godless. Like from what I see, and I bet you there are statistics saying that. And a lot of us do drugs all the time. And when you're at an age like us, I'm 17 now, he's 21, we have very malleable brains. And especially if you start smoking weed or something like that at a young age, like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Your brain is so malleable that it will get addicted to that drug and brainwashed into needing that drug all the time.
No, 100%.
I mean, very clear examples. I'm not saying weed will kill you, by the way, if you just quit cold turkey. But, like, examples like that are benzos and fucking alcohol.
Oh,
you drink too much alcohol, you become an alcoholic, and you do it too frequently, you go cold turkey all of a sudden, if you're thoroughly addicted, you will just drop dead. And the same thing with benzos. And those are the only two drugs that will do that are legal.
I mean, benzos are like...
Benzos are new.
They're slightly legal.
They're yeah. Like, Xanax illegal.
What?
That's a benzo. Xanax is legal.
Yeah, but via prescription.
Of course. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, legal in the sense that you can get it from a pharmacy as long as you have a prescription for it.
Yeah.
I get what you mean by slightly legal in that sense. But,
yeah, you can say you have ADHD and get meth.
Yeah, you can. You can get fucking meth. Like, legit meth. Actually, the funny thing is, with that, what was it called again? What was that? Adderall. The funny thing with Adderall is that it's only different from meth in the sense that it works faster.
Yeah.
That's literally the real only difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that it's meth, but you can absorb it way quicker, and it'll activate way quicker.
Some people snort it so that it works instantly.
Oh yeah, some people do. I used to.
It has an even faster
half-life. I've known fucking. Oh shit, I'm sure. I've known several chicks that do that, and it's always the chicks I've noticed. It's always the chicks. I don't know why. I've never known a guy who gets Xanax or gets some pill, does that to it and snort it. Yeah. Like, I mean, cocaine is more of a guy thing. I don't know too many chicks that do cocaine. I've known one. Okay. But I don't think it's as frequent as it is like pills like Xanax.
Yeah.
Or like, I wonder if you can snort Xanax. I don't know about that. But like Adderall.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I wonder.
I've never
thought about that.
I mean,
I'm sure you probably could.
I'm not going to do it ever. But this is a curious thing. Can you snort Xanax? Anyone in the description, please let us know if you know about it.
Hope so.
Yeah, I want blue stuff going up my nose.
Let's get into snorting away.
Oh yeah. I got a haircut.
Yeah, you got a haircut. He doesn't have so much hair.
Got a haircut. I like it versus having a fuck ton of hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my favorite haircut. I told her to get a fade. She didn't give me a fade.
It's not even close, dude.
It's just short on the sides and then a little longer on top. I usually get that. It's a good length, though. Yeah. I like the length. It's just...
Well, do you want to end it here?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, well, this has been a shorter one. Good little talk. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. See you next one.
Bye.